Alright, well, today is Wednesday. I almost got the days mixed up. Just got out to the shop. Hold on one second. I gotta shut this thing off. There we go. Just so we can talk. Fucking high idle. But yeah, so anyway, today is Wednesday. Last night I went to go edit up 2 days ago a video of the snowmobile here. Turns out I must have last night or the following day before that deleted all the video of me pulling out the rear suspension of the snowmobile. It turns out it's gone. So I'm gonna fill you in on what exactly happened, and then you guys can watch the rest of the motor get put together and stuff. As you can see here, we have 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 bogey wheels. Not including the other 2 that are in this trash barrel. Yeah. A little bit more work than what I had planned on for the rear suspension. My original plan was to replace 4 bogey wheels and be done with it. Well, turns out when I start dropping the rear suspension, when I loosen up the rear adjusters in the rear, it turns out that these back bogey wheels here were bad. The bearings on them were bad. And then when I got further investigations that basically 90% of all the bearings and all these bogey wheels were bad. So I ended up having to drop the rear suspension skid out of this thing and basically pull the whole suspension out of the snowmobile. So suspension rails over there, we're going to be doing a video on it, on repairing it and doing some of the adjustments. There's quite a bit of problems with it. I'll just move this out of the way. Has a lot of play, like in these plastic things. These are for the spring tensioners, like that. Play in them. The shocks get play in it. I have all new bushings on the way, so we're gonna do a full rebuild on this thing, basically, other than the high facts, because they're fairly new. As you can see, there's still a lot of life left in them. And previous to me, the owner told me that he replaced these 2 aluminum rails, which I do believe him, but I guess he just cheaped out and didn't bother buying new suspension components like bogey wheels and bearings and, you know, grommets and stuff like that. He just reused the old stuff. So it kind of sort of backfired in my plan, because now I have to basically disassemble that whole suspension rail and put it back in. So that was the previous night's video. So I'm going to get last night's video all edited up. I'm actually on my way to the dealership, going to get some power equipment, and we'll take it from there. I got to pick up some parts at the dealership, and then I got to pick up some power equipment. So that should be a pretty good day. I don't know if I'll make a video on it. I'm going to try and get this video uploaded tonight and take it from there. Kind of sucked that I went to go edit yesterday's video, but yeah. Yeah, so stay tuned for that, and let's fire my truck back up because it's like 8 degrees out and I gotta go to the bank. Oh, I love remote starter the more. Should we listen here? Should we listen? Sorry, I've been running for about 5 minutes, so. Oh yeah, that's a 7.3 for you. Alright. See you guys later. Alright, well, another day working on the ZL600 build. Yeah, last day we left off at a devastating friggin' pulling out the rear suspension skid frame of this sled. I wasn't too happy about doing it. If you guys recall, about 90% of all these bearings and these bogey wheels were done, and I wasn't going to take a chance on it. See, a lot of you guys think like, oh, you go riding, that's it, and then if you fix it, you break it. Well, you see, we do a couple of big trips out in New Hampshire, and we just can't really afford breakdowns when we're on vacation because it gets to be really big of a hassle, and when that shit happens, you really don't have a place to fix it. You gotta take it to the Articat dealer, and they're gonna charge you 90 bucks an hour. I can't afford that. My dad can't afford that. Who can afford that? Rich people can afford that. But, yeah, so we're going to do all the bearings in the rear skid frame. I got them all out. I actually wrecked 2 of the bogey wheels. I'll show you guys them. Got to order up 2 new bogey wheels. Couldn't get the fuckers off of the upper rail arm here. The ones that go up here, they'd usually be like up here. Obviously it's upside down at the moment, but couldn't get those off, so I had to break those off. I'll have to order up 2 new bogey wheels for there. All these bearings I got to press out. I got to get my clip pullers there and pull all these clips off and then press them out with my press over there. I got everything just about all loaded up other than the 2 bogey wheels. It was like a total of, I don't know, $35 in bearings, and then a bunch of plastic bits and pieces, so that was like another $25-30. And I gotta order up those 2 other bogey wheels because that happened today, so that'll be about another well, yeah, it'd be about another $50 because each one of these are about $22 when I looked them up. So I don't think we're gonna be going riding with this one this weekend as much as I was hoping. I have a new lady friend in my life and I want to take her out riding. I said, oh yeah, we'll just put you on my my XF and I'll ride this thing and hope for the best. But I don't think that's happening, so that's kind of sort of a bummer. And I gotta get the Jag in here too. Like I'm rushing, guys. I'm trying to get my Jag in here next so I can start building it. And then after like that's like halfway through here, I have to buy another sled for someone that's gonna go riding with us on vacation. So I gotta look for a sled that's roughly priced between $1,000 to $1,600, and obviously I have to go through it as well and get paid for that. So there's a lot gotta get done on snowmobile season still. There's a lot of builds. I know a lot of you guys like having me do the builds. You know, we did that ZL600 triple last year. We did the Scrambler over the summer. We're doing this thing. There's been a couple of other builds too. I just can't remember them all. But yeah, so anyway, today we're going to be working back on the cylinder jugs. I don't know if you guys noticed too, I cleaned up quite a bit. Shop floor is nice and clean. I'm just ignore that little mess over there. I gotta take some pictures of some parts. But anyway, I gotta go back into the cylinder here. I gotta take both of these pistons off because I forgot one key part. I just came over here. I was fiddling around with this, cleaning up the bottom of the cylinder jug here. As you can see, it's all nice and clean now. And I saw these. I was like, the fuck? And I'm like, oh wait a minute. These are for the V4, not the V-Force reeds, but these fuckers. And I was like, oh wait a minute. These actually go inside the piston. Let me grab that piston that's on the other side there. I'll show you what I'm talking about. That was there. Maybe it's in here. Yeah. So what happens is there's you get 2 of those little clips there, and they go either side, and they also retain your son of a bitch on the inside there. Not the bearings, but the shaft, basically. I can't think of what this fucking called. So I gotta rip apart that jug, take it off, take the 2 pistons off, fight with those stupid clips, put those 2 damn washers on each side of the pistons, and reassemble everything. So I'm glad I caught it now versus doing it, but it's gonna suck to do it, I'll tell you. Also, I got the 2 alignment pins coming in tonight, so I'm hoping, possibly, maybe, depending on how crazy I get, it's 4:47. I'll start it right now, and we're gonna hopefully try and get this running tonight. That is my plan. We'll see. I don't know. Don't really have too much faith. I have the torque specifications too for the cylinder heads and the bottom cylinder jugs here. So I gotta pick up a torque wrench too because I ain't gonna use, well, it's not even actually here, it's at my cousin's house, but I ain't gonna be able to use my torque wrench, so I have to pick one up at AutoZone, or I'll actually grab one at my uncle's house, so we'll have to wait and see on that. But you never know. Maybe they'll say fuck all, but actually I can't because I got the O-ring gaskets. See these little O-rings on these? Nope, that's not one. Here's one. There's O-rings on there. That's for the cylinder head to keep the water in the cylinder head. And I gotta clean these up still. They're not super bad, but we're gonna clean them up anyway. And yeah, busy. And oh yeah, and I gotta get these studs off too. That's gonna be fun, because mine are actually different than the ones that the guy gave me. Mine are these kind. His took the nut and bolt kind. His was a 2000, mine's an 03. That's a little bit of a difference on it. But anyway, enough talking. We're gonna try and get to work here, and then probably about the next half hour, 45 minutes, I'm gonna grab some dinner. So yeah, let's see how we make out tonight. Hopefully better than last night, because that sucked. I really don't want to put that skid frame back in that sled. Not fun. Alright, well, I took the jug off. I got the new, well, not new, but that damn washer in. I'm getting ready to do the other side, so fun. I think I'm going to leave the jug off the other side so I have enough room to play. I'm freaking tired. I've been going and going all day. But, yeah. So, overall, looking pretty good. I'm glad I didn't wreck the gasket, because that would have sucked. That's like it's a $26 gasket right there. That little bottom end one fucking sucks. But, all good. No more play. Figured out what the problem was. Like, if you look, see how this one's got like a shit ton of play? Look at this one. It's nothing. Well, it's because I got paper towels there, but still not going to make a big of a difference. Or, it did make that big of a difference. So, yeah. It's awesome. Now I'm going to do the other side. Hopefully the retaining clips come in tonight, and that'd be pretty good. We're moving. Oh, can you see it? Can you see it? Holy hell, what the hell's going on here? Like, this is just ridiculous. There we go. Hey, look at that. We got 2 jugs on finally. So, let's see. Where did I leave off at? I went out and had dinner. I think I was putting in the piston side little bearing pieces. I got those in. I got the wrist pins and all that stuff back in. That's the word I was looking for before. Right now, just on the hunt for an O-ring for my cylinder head here. I gotta look for it. I'm gonna start cleaning up the other side of the APV valve. This side here is not too bad. This is off the used cylinder I bought, and yeah, I'm cleaning it up. Figured might as well if I did the other side. Oh, I saw something there for a second I needed. So I'm going to throw the APV valve on and tighten those up, everything. I don't usually do torque specifications, but on a snowmobile engine I do. Just because I don't want to take a chance with it, especially on these, on the head gaskets. I showed you guys this earlier. There's this little tiny O-ring on it, and if you squash it too much, well, guess what? You're shit out of luck. So I went over and picked up the torque wrench. I ready to get these ones down. You start off at 39 for the bottom cylinder jug here, and then you go to 43, and then you're done right there. The top one, I think it starts at like 16 and 23. I have to look at my my book again just to double check. Yeah, I'm not really sure on that. It might be even 26. Can't quite remember, but yeah, everything's looking pretty good. A few of you guys were asking how to make out with the cylinder head. I'll peel this back before I mount it on. You guys just be patient. I'm gonna peel back the tape. I've been just trying to keep everything, you know, clean as possible without getting any dirt and shit and stuff in it. That's the key for this, is to keep everything nice and clean. This one here, it's gonna be decent. If anything, the cylinder will be down maybe 1 or 2. Actually, I don't even think even 1 psi, but it'll work. I made sure there was no metal fragments left in the cylinder head, as bad as it was from the old piston. Yeah, that'll be good. Since can't sort of see. As you can see, they're both sides, both polished, and it's still pretty much dented, but there's no metal fragments in it at all. I ran a little metal detector over it, just to make sure there was nothing in it that would cause any, like the old piston ring, stuff like that, to fall through and then onto the new one. So I made sure of that. I hit it with the little grinder I showed you guys the first, kind of sort of looks like a Dremel tool, only air tool. Put 3 different pads on it and it seemed to work pretty good. Then I hit it with, first hit it with, what the hell did I hit it with? I think it was like 200, 500, 800. Then I went to 1,000. Then I think it was either 1,200 or 1,600, don't quite remember. And then I took the buffer to it and just buffed everything out, and everything seems to be pretty decent now. So, you know, it's better than buying a new cylinder head that's going to cost $1 million. You know, it's not worth it. So everything else looks pretty decent on it. It's just, you know, just pitted basically now. It looks worse than what it is. You know, the main part is the centerpiece, which is why I did it as good as I could, because that's where basically all this fuel gets burnt, as opposed to the small little rings. Not a whole lot of fuel is going to get burnt up in that area. So, but overall, everything looks good on it. Just gotta finish peeling off the tape. Oop, freaking hooked on the unit there. So yeah, there's the cylinder head. Just gotta find a razor blade and that O-ring gasket for my cylinder head. I had it on there earlier, but I don't know, must have fell down somewhere. Can't quite remember what I did with it. Son of a bitch, I lost the damn O-ring. I'll find it. I think I got one extra one in the box, hopefully. Keyword, hopefully. Uh-oh. I don't know, I'll find it. But once I get the APV valve on, I'll show you guys the cylinder head, start torquing it down, and then from there I will start throwing the exhaust on, and hopefully we'll have it running. My goal is tonight is to have it running, but we'll see. It's almost 8 o'clock right now, so we'll take her from there. Alright, well, we're coming down the home stretch. Let's see, I don't even know where I left off. Oh yeah, I was putting in the APV valve. Got that done. I got the Y pipe on. I also had to weld it too. I don't know if I told you guys enough, there was a crack in it. So I just pooped a little bit of bead. I think I started running out of gas towards the end there, if you can tell. Like I had a perfect bead going there. And then all of a sudden it was like blah, 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 blah. Yeah, I think we need to fill the tank. Whatever, not too bad. I'm going to throw the cylinder head on next, throw the muffler on and the pipe, clean it on my paper towel rags and stuff and junk like that. And I've been using that as my table too. But everything else is looking pretty good. It's looking really good. It took a little while to get the APV valve on because I by accidentally put it on backwards. I was like, whoops, gotta do it the other way. But motor spin's over really good. Very happy with the way everything's turning out. Everything looks perfect. So it should run pretty good. I'm hoping tonight I'll fire up and everything will work out. But you never know. You never know. I gotta get some coolant too. I should have enough to fire it. I got some in there and I got some in my toolbox out in my truck. So I should have enough, I'm thinking, but I ain't gonna run it for like too long, just because it's gonna smoke the whole shop out, because it still never sees, or not never sees, anti-seize in the jugs from when I coated them and stuff like that. So I'm just gonna run it for maybe about 2-3 minutes tonight, and that's about it. I don't even think I'll run it that long, maybe even a minute. So, but yeah, battery took a charge too, by the way. I don't know if I told you guys that either. So we're looking pretty good. Let's get this baby fired up. Alright, well, things were going pretty good up until this point. I'm not really sure where I left off. I think I left at the cylinder head there. I was putting it on. I got all the wires, temp sensors put on, the coolant hose, and I threw some coolant in it. A couple of other little oddball things I put together. I've got to the point of the exhaust here, and you know, I ran it. And I guess I'm having a little bit of a belly pan issue. I don't know. Let me grab that light so you guys can see. Turns out the belly pan I bought is completely different than the original one that was on there. That's the belly pan over there. And it seems to me that I guess that belly pan is a little bit different than this one. I don't know. At first I thought it was me not aligning the pipe right, but sure enough, after measuring and measuring that piece over and over, it actually is a little bit different. So what I might do is, right now I'm going to cut off the section around the exhaust, and when I come back out tomorrow is what I'll do is I'll cut that whole piece out, and I'll just patch it right up in there, which should work out pretty good. You know, it's not off by much, I can easily say that, but man, it's a little bit different, I'd say. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this piece off and throw the exhaust springs on. We're going to test fire this thing up tonight. That's my plan. It's 9:12. Whew, didn't think it was that late, but we're going to fire up anyway. Fuck all the neighbors. Awesome. Alright, well, the moment of truth has come. Time to fire up. It's now 9:24. Been working on the engine now for almost 3 hours. Just gotta check one thing. Yeah, coolant's still up at the top. It's gonna go down eventually because it needs to filter and all that stuff, circulate through the heat exchanger. But yeah, we're gonna fire up for the first time. Everything's on except for one bolt for the exhaust that holds it down over there, which I'll eventually have to take it off. So I didn't bother putting the bolt on because I have to pull the exhaust off again because I got to replace that gasket. I noticed it seems like it's done, and I might tomorrow have to go back in, pull this can out so I can fit and finish the bottom here. Yeah, that's gonna be fun. So what I'll do is cut a little chunk out there and same right there, and done. But yeah, time to fire this bitch up. Airbox should be fine the way it is. I don't have the airbox fully bolted in. I do have mixture in there. I got it to 100 to 1 ratio. That's just what Arctic wants you to mix it to. So yeah, she's gonna smoke pretty good. I ain't gonna give her a rev. I'm just gonna let it idle. I'm gonna let it idle for maybe about 4 or 5 seconds or so and shut her down because this place is gonna fill up with smoke pretty bad. So I think after this we'll end the video. But here's the moment of truth. I have not yet cranked her over. Hopefully the battery has a charge on it too. I didn't even think of that. But yeah, let's a little bit scared to turn the key, I'll tell you. Here we go. Hey, guess what? We got a loose connection, I think. Look at that, we got a dead battery. One or the other. That could be one of the problems. I wonder if I should bolt that down. I'm gonna bolt this, the hell does this go to? Oh yeah, I gotta bolt this guy down. Gotta bolt that one wire down, then we'll crank her up. Alright, I'm not 100% sure where this wire goes. I have a feeling this is supposed to connect on to the old mounting bracket that was there, but that's basically busted off. Whatever I did with it, I think it's in here. This is the old bracket, so I'm thinking it went to there. So I don't know, I might have to make my own bracket, see how it popped out of the rivets. So I don't know. Try it again. Yeah, I think the battery might be dead. What I'll do is I'll drop this son of a bitch down. I'll put my drill on it. Just that way I can pull it. Get her fired up here. Yeah, what do we got here? We got cords going crazy. You guys ever wondered how my lift worked? This is an Ohio chassis, and I love it. That should be good like that, just enough so I can pull it over without the thing going tippy-tippy on me. Oop. Alright, let's try her again. And let's move this out of the way. Alright, so see if I should fire up 2 poles. Fire it up. Kick ass. Friggin' smoky in here now. Like I said, I wasn't gonna beat on it just yet. Fucking, I'm not sure why the reverse alarm came on. The reverse isn't engaged, so I don't know. Must be a bad switch in there, so I had to disconnect it. Notice the headlight was flickering a little bit, so it might be a loose bulb. Oh yeah, it is a loose bulb. Fucking the whole bulb's sticking out of the side of it. Oops, but man, it fucking reeks in here now. I'm gonna shut this heater off before I fucking blow up. But seems to be pretty good. Runs good. I'm gonna actually just close the hood. I want to check the RPMs. on what we were at. So I'll fire up again just to double check something. Runs good. Runs really well. Just noticed something though. Is the where the fuck's the high beam switch? Oh yeah, high beam switch is missing. Oh, would you look at that? Now I know why that high beam light there was flickering. Makes sense. Look at the fucking chooch here. Holy. Pretty quiet sled though, I gotta say. A lot quieter than my 700, my ZL600 that is. Fires right up really good though, I'm surprised. Pulls nice too. Well, I think I'm done for the night. I'm happy. She's running. She sounds really healthy. Yeah. It's fucking loud in here. I gotta get over on this side. It's less choochable. So yeah, anyway. We'll probably talk to you guys all tomorrow. Even though this video won't get up till about 2 days from now. Just because I'm really behind on videos. Like I said before, my computer's a little bit busted. And we're still trying to figure out what the deal is with it. So yeah, next video possibly within the next couple of days on the sled will be the final touch-ups on the engine, meaning like the exhaust. We're going to start popping off some of these bogey wheels here. I have it sitting in some oil right now, as you can tell. And hopefully the rest of the parts for the rear suspension will come in over the weekend. Actually, it should be coming on just before the weekend. So yeah, I should make a pretty good couple of videos, but there you go, engine's running. Top end's pretty good, not bad for a freaking blown up engine. You know, runs pretty good. But anyway, we'll talk to you guys later on in the week. Hopefully, you guys have a good day, whatever day you're watching this. I think it's gonna be like Thursday, maybe Friday. And yeah, see you guys then. A little bit of money and a little bit of work will get you a pretty nice, decent, cheap sled. I'll tell you. Did the math last night. Really in the sled, $400, not including for what we paid for the sled, and we paid $800 for the sled. Not bad. Oh yeah, don't worry. The alignment pins came in. I didn't forget them. Yeah, those are sitting right there. Empty bags and all. Just to clarify that we did put them in. Part number. Oop, holy fucking zoom here. Those are the alignment pins I was talking about. Make sure you put those in. See you guys tomorrow.